So we're at home in San Diego, getting ready to go record our second album. In Los Angeles, California. Producer Mike Green is going to do the record. We're really excited about it. We're going to go into the process without a finished record and finish it and get creative on the spot with some of it. A lot of it's done already, but there's a few songs that are not quite there yet. So we're just getting packed up now, pretty much. Time to just dive in with Mike Green and see what we can get done. Basically, I listened to a bunch of stuff that Mike Green had done, all his recordings, and every single one of his records just sounded so amazing. The sound of them was so awesome, and even though he hadn't done a lot of bands that I knew, just the records themselves sounded so great that I was picturing, what the band would sound like recorded by him, and that kind of got me really pumped up on recording with him. So Mike was pretty much just like the perfect match for everything. So
I guess going into it, I heard a band with a lot of technical prowess and a lot of ambition, and I feel like they had an opportunity to do something really cutting edge and different, and I just felt if we could add some accessibility and some focus, and at the same time while taking those technical elements to a more extreme place, then we'd really have something. I had been listening to the demos for a while, and I kind of had my feedback based on the demos, and we just jammed for about a week and a half, fleshed everything out, and really at that point we're just deciding on structures and drum parts, and all the rest can be filled in later. So
we spent this first couple weeks here in Hollywood just jamming out the songs together.
It was my most feared moment of my life because it was basically determining what these songs are going to be in like a week.
The fact that we came in here and started literally practicing for like a week with all the songs, 12 hours a day, was, to me, like, I was not expecting that.
That's like the hump basically for me. Right. Trying to get over basically just arrange the songs and then lay down the drums, and then from there we
got to talking a lot about what we want the drums to sound like on the record, and we pretty much agreed that we want them to sound like drums. We don't want to sound like perfect triggers.
The goal was to go for something that's a bit different for bands in the same circle and I guess scene, in that we wanted to do something that sounds real.
He's very open to having your instruments actually sounding like instruments, which is great because I love my drums to actually sound like drums in the studio. The best part about him was we just got super loose on, we picked up a bunch of vintage snares to experiment with, and I think we had like 6 snares that got put on the record. So
I think one of the things I'm most proud of is that it does sound like organic and real.
So we finished tracking the drums at Ocean Studios in Hollywood, California, and Mike killed it in one day.
It was a long day, man. I was sweating my ass off.
No, un día, he killed it.
12 in one day.
That's a result of being very well prepared, as my dad always says. Poor prior planning leads to piss poor performance. This whole song, don't let up.
He wants me to punish it.
When you're doing those floor tom sections there, the do 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 do. I want to hear the eights more defined. I hear just right now. Exactly. Here you go.
That was fun.
Sergeant Pepper. Is that your real name?
You're so lonely.
Yes.
Ready to go.
Move the crane down, Scotch.
I got it.
And then bring it up to eye level here. Building.
So we moved everything back into Mike Green's studio here to do all the guitars and bass and all the other stuff. Everything else on the record.
I like to just take it song by song rather than instrument by instrument. So rather than doing all the bass, all the guitars, all the vocals, I like to just do, rhythm guitar for a song, then do the bass for the song, then do, basic lead vocals, then do lead guitars, etc., etc.
Today we have Dave Yaten, who's going to play keyboards on this album.
Dave played keys on the last record as well. He is amazing, and we wanted to have him be a part of the new record.
Big had a couple piano ideas that he made up himself on his keyboard at home and things like that. But once we let Dave get in there, he really just takes over and brings a whole new element to it. Him and Mike Green are both really into theory, so they can just talk in numbers and letters all day long, as he's playing. Oh, do the major fifth and just back and forth, and they just pump out a song no problem just by talking. It's pretty insane.
I don't like being with the band because they're simple.
You got something else to say, Dave? We heard what you just said.
He's basically putting you on blast.
I've done my best to speak my mind. I don't think I can speak it any clearer, to be perfectly honest.
Completely satisfied.
Alright, print that.
Since we've got here, we've been working 12-hour days the entire time. So if I'm not here, we pretty much go straight home and go to sleep. We don't do anything fun. We've go home, watch a movie, and pass out pretty much. We get up in the morning, get here at 12, and we're here all day. And
Tony messed up the chimes. I don't know what happened.
it's a tough instrument.
I just played drums for the first time in 3 weeks. And now they're telling me to stop. Hey, this is Mike. There it is. Save it. Oh, good. That was painless. I thought it was going to take me hours. Let's do this. What are we doing in here? Changing my voicemail. Sounds good. As far as our structure goes on this album, I've always been a fan of the fact that we have a lot of the songs are constantly changing. There's always different parts, and he's helped us find a way to still have that aspect in our music and keep everything moving and changing throughout the song, but have a basic structure there.
Still,